So we're going to look at a displacement example problem. So this problem is a country skier skis 1 kilometer north and then 2 kilometers east on a horizontal snowfield. How far and what direction is she from the starting point? So basically it's asking us to find her total displacement. So with any word problem, we should probably put our givens. And so in this word problem, we're given two vectors, which the skier skis 1 kilometer north, that's the first vector. And then at 2 kilometers east, that'd be the second vector. And it's also useful to know what our compass would look like. And so we have that on the right-hand side. And a universal step for solving any physics problem is to draw a diagram, which we had below. So we drew our start point, and he goes north 1 kilometer first, so we drew that vector. And then we added the second vector going 2 kilometers east, which we reach our end point. And then we added the displacement vector connecting the start to the end point, and we can see that below. Also note that we added this angle theta because the question is asking what direction she is from the starting point. So this angle theta will represent that. Now that we have our diagram, we can identify what we're solving for. So we need a displacement vector, and we broke that down into the x, which is the displacement magnitude, and theta, which is its direction. The next step is to figure out what equations we're going to need to get these values. So for the x, we're going to need to use the Pythagorean theorem. And for theta, we're going to need to use the trig ratio tan theta equals opposite over adjacent. So now all there's left to do is solve. So we use the Pythagorean theorem, and we get x is equal to square root 1 squared plus 2 squared. And we get square root 5, or 2.23 kilometers. And then we use the trig ratio tan theta equals opposite over adjacent. So if we look at the diagram, opposite is 2 kilometers and adjacent is 1 kilometers with respect to the theta. So that's why we get tan theta equals 2 over 1. And then we take the inverse to get the final answer, which is theta equals 63.1. So now we can write a therefore statement, but note there's actually a typo here. The skier does not ski 2.3 kilometers. That would be his distance. The skier's total displacement is 2.3 kilometers, and it's at an angle of 63.4 degrees from the north, as we can see that in the diagram.